We have two Bretonnia mods we're showing off today. We have the Bretonnia Royal Lake Guard Elite units, which obviously is adding more elite units to the Bretonnia roster. And then we had MadRevenants Bretonnia Troops expansion, which adds a lot of knights and some long spears. Don't forget to like and subscribe, guys. Let's dive into this video. We are going to start off with the Royal Lake units because they are a little bit more polished and higher tier on the modding side. And the first one up is obviously a reskin here, and I had to include them. They don't have any unique lord for this mod, but it does have this reskin, which I think fits in very, very well for combat. You know, so I just think it makes more sense than the original skinning does, how it's done. We do have a unique hero, and we have the Royal Castellan, and I've got to say, I love this guy. He looks phenomenal in combat. Honestly, he looked better in combat than I thought, because this guy was throwing some Jedi moves, okay? He was doing the lightsaber throw. I'm just saying, that's what it looks like. That's the first thing I've thought of when I seen it. But overall, it looked great in combat, so I just had to show off as much as I could of this guy just demolishing these goblins. We now have our next support hero. We have the Royal Circle Mage support spellcaster. Have some abilities there on the left, as you can see, and we're going to kind of go through all these as we go through the mod. You'll see them up on the screen. He does have a ranged attack. Don't throw him in melee, even though I did just to show some of it, but he's terrible in melee. Don't throw him in melee. But his ranged attack's pretty okay, and I do like his abilities. We're now in the breads and beans of this mod, which is the Royal Lake Guard, okay? We're going to have different variants of these guys. We have the hammer and shield variant, which looks epic, even if the hammer is maybe taken from the Empire a little bit, you know, just a little bit. But their shields look fantastic. Their capes look great. This is probably one of the best designed looking modded units I've seen for Bretonnia of all time. I'm only going to put the abilities up one time, so if they show up multiple times for different units, I'm not going to keep putting the same abilities up, just the ones that are more unique to each one. We have the Royal Lake Guard Spear and Shield. Again, the same basic design here. We have a little bit different on the look, but again, they're still the Royal Lake Guard. I love their shield, I love their spear. They do a great job defensively, and they're a fantastic unit. Definitely gives them more frontline options. And then rounding off here, we have the Royal Executioners two-handed sword. They have they're great sword infantry. Obviously, these guys are designed to just get in there and tear up the enemy, and they just look phenomenal. Great design work. I don't know if I'm a fan of the glowing kind of eye effect, but it looks good. I mean, and we're back to the Royal Lake Guard here. We have them with crossbows, and I've got to say, fantastic looking crossbows. I love the coloring choice he made on it for that tan with the black. It looks really, really good. And again, these guys, I like that he really made each of the Royal Lake units really different on the aesthetics, on how they look, because he didn't have to, and I just think it stands out a lot. The Royal Monster Hunters, they're javelin infantry. Obviously, they can throw their javelins, and they're going to have pretty good missile strength. Pretty, you know, smaller range, but good missile strength on that. And they're not bad in melee either. There is less of these guys, only 24. But I did like the unit, and I think it adds more options, you know? And on top of that, you do have the passive, which deals damage as they take damage. So they're going to give some of that back. I'm surprised to see monsters, but I really do like it. We have Sorcha, the Guardian of Couronne. I'm probably pronouncing that wrong. I try to show off the abilities here that you can see. Pretty much this person is just, or this monster is great in melee, as you would expect, with a weapon strength of 565. It just tore up everything on these goblins, and it was fun to watch in combat. And then we have the next tier up, which is Sarash, the Royal line, which is an upgrade over the last one in pretty much every way. This thing will tear up the units even more. A lot of abilities here, and a lot of these, he gets stronger the longer he's in melee. So he's just going to keep getting stronger. It's crazy. This is a very overpowered unit, but it does add something to Bretonnia that they don't have. We have a lot of trebuchets here. We have the Cluster Shot, the Starbreaker, and the Son of the Realm Fire Trebuchet. So Starbreaker has a giant rift that pops up. The Son of the Realm has multiple fireballs that spread out. And they do very good damage. And then the Cluster Shot doesn't have any really special effects. It's just a bunch of shots literally being thrown, kind of like you would expect out of a cluster fire out of a cannon. And I did show each of these off so you get to see all of it hitting. Warhammer players, if you're still missing DLC for the Immortal Empires, I would check out Instant Gaming. They have several DLC available, all of them 50% off plus, so you're getting a great deal on these prices all the time, and they just have several different ones. They have the Wood Elves, they have the Call of the Beastmen, they have Forge of the Chaos Dwarf, so if there's any certain factions or lords you're missing, I would grab them here. The link is down in the description. Let's get back to the mod spotlight. We're now at MadRevenants Bretonnia expansion, and here's a little bit more of what we're used to with Bretonnia mods. You're going to see a whole bunch of knights here, and a lot of these do look really, really similar to each other. So, like, I had a hard time differentiating them in combat, so I did this a little different. I'm going to show off every unit, and then we're going to have a montage collection of combat here at the end for the knights. So you see in the first one, next we have the dismounted Grail Knights. Again, I think the design on these is good, but I've seen a lot of people do these, do these different setups, and some I really do like more than others. Like we're going to see some blacked out units here in a second that I think look really epic. Oh, here we go. The Dark Templars. I think these guys look awesome. I really love their design. I love their weapons. Like that axe right there, oh, looks good. On top of that, he also added them to cavalry, which is the only cavalry unit in this mod, and I think it really stands out on that side because there's just not really any cavalry that's that dark of a color for Bretonnia. So I think it looks really, really good. I kind of wish, I don't know why it'd be weird, but I kind of wish that guy with the axe was still on the mounted cavalry side. Just you imagine it, just a huge axe with the cavalry unit, I think it would look sick. I'm just saying. Maybe the modder can add that in. I don't know. But yeah, I did like the design of this unit. Okay, we're focusing again. We have the Great Sword, Knights of the Realm, Anti-Infantry, Armor Piercing. I will say one downside of this mod is there's not really any abilities or passives or anything like that added onto these units. And on top of that, as we get closer to the Peasant Infant units, there's no formations. And I think this mod does need formations, and I think it does need some abilities to really stand out. So, giving the modder some advice here. Hopefully he doesn't get too upset about it. But, everyone's here to improve on what they do, and nobody's perfect. Even me, especially with these mod spotlights. As we see here, we have the dismounted Knight Errants. So we drop down a little bit here on the level of Knight we have. And I do like the weapons. I like some of these have maces. Some have the sword and shield. Some have a two-handed sword. Some have a great sword that's even bigger two-handed sword. So there is differences on the weapon side. It just aesthetically, some of these look very, very similar. So yeah. And we have Knights Errant with great swords. So as you can see here, there's a lot. So I mean, if you're wanting to roleplay with knights, there's going to be a lot of options to do that in this mod. If you're just wanting a variety of knights to do in combat. So I think that really does fit in with Bretonnia. I just think that this mod needs more time to cook in the oven. We're at a final knight here with the dismounted Knights of the Realm. Again, I liked it. I like the mod, and I do like that there's a lot of options. I just feel like a lot of these need to be like consolidated. You know, maybe we don't need this many knight units in the mod.
We fight as real companions! Get away! Let's have them! Flood these lands! A death throw on them! The lady demands blood!
We're now at a section that I think he did better than he did on the knights. We have the Bretonnia heavy pikemen. Really love the unit. I think it looks great. I love their weapon choice. It adds a lot. The only thing this unit's missing, it has formation attack, but it needs a formation to where maybe it's bracing those spears forward, and it just looks better in combat. I think that's what it's missing. It needs a custom formation to really seal the deal on these units. Now, I don't know if this makes sense, but we have the Bretonnia Noble Pikemen, which is like a higher tier pikeman style unit, and I do like the look on these, but again, what we just talked about, you know, we need formations in this mod. But I do like the look of these guys. I don't know if it makes sense lore-wise, though. I have no idea. Let me know about this. The Bretonnia Heavy Halberders, I love the red and black. If he goes back in and makes more units, definitely go with that red and black theme, red and steel. Definitely stick with that a lot. I think that would really stand out on the modding side if you had a lot of units like this. And plus, it stands out from the regular Bretonnia units quite a bit. And it makes sense because this isn't the regular stuff, so it really stands out. But these guys did great work in combat, and I really love their design, and I would run them in my campaigns. We're dropping down a little bit here. We have the Pikemen at Arms, Spear Infantry Anti-Large, Charge Defense against large foes. And again, I like the idea, I like the look. They're the more classic Bretonnia look with the spears, so you have that. And what we've already discussed, I mean, this mod just needs formations. That's pretty much it. I mean, that's I think I would really like to see him go in, consolidate the knights down, expand on this side with the spears and the pikemen, and expand on this side and put formations in, because I would like to see a lot more of this. And then here, obviously, we have our two longbow units here. They're like literally exactly the same, so you're not going to see very much combat for these guys. But we have Bretonnia longbow archers, and then the other one's going to be the Bretonnia longbow archers with our fire archers. So the only difference between the two is one shoots fire arrows and one doesn't. And the fire arrow has armor piercing for some reason. So, yeah, but they have the same weapon. They look the same, you know. Yeah. But overall, I mean, I do like that they're adding longbows to them. I think it gives Bretonnia more options, you know, a higher tier archer unit, and I think that they always need that in mods. And then lastly, something that needs work, and maybe he can look at what they did in the other mod, but this fire trebuchet just shoots, you know, one fireball per trebuchet, and it hits the ground, and it does flame damage, but it's very small radius. This needs to be upgraded, changed, or something to stand out from the crowd. This is going to be the end of this mod spotlight video. As always, the link to both of these mods will be down in the description, guys, for you to check out. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment. I'll catch you in the next mod spotlight, and I will have a poll up soon to vote on that.